Hello, Star Wars Galaxy of Hero players. Anti-Teshoto here. Today, I'm going to talk about the STAP and a possible faction that could come into the game in Galaxy of Heroes. Now, first and foremost, I want to say it's great to actually have this in. There's a lot of speculation and predictions that we might see more character vehicles like this. Heck, we could even have turreted characters. We have those in game already. The battle droid that has a turret from the Geonosis territory battles. But now we have the STAP, a brand new idea. So could we get the Bark speeder bike from the Clone Troopers? Or there's plenty of different variations of speeders. Scout Trooper and so on. We could get Dash Rendar on a speeder. We already have models for speeder bikes for the speeder raid, so we could potentially get that. So that's one prediction I want to mention in this video. The other one is a potential sub-faction to the Separatists, and that's the Trade Federation. Because if you look right now, aside from Darth Maul and Qui-Gon, they're the only ones in the in the game that represent Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Outside of that, there's no one else. And aside from Droideka B1 and STAP, Newt Gunray and Darth Maul and Qui-Gon were kind of legacy characters when the game first came out. So, these could potentially give us the idea that Separatists could get a sub-faction. Aside from droids and Geonosians, we could get a sub-faction of Trade Federation, led by none other than Newt Gunray. Granted, they'd have to rework him, but they also would have to pull him out of the trench team. However, there is another Trade Federation leader. So we got Newt Gunray, but there is also Rune Hako, his number 2, or his number 1 sideman, or number 2 in the order. Rune Hako is not in the game. And they could bring him in, have some sort of combination with extortion, so that, maybe Newt Gunray and Rune Hako are interchangeable between Trench, or they both can go into Trench too. Even though I feel like Trench is great, but I feel like they need some more options for Trench, i.e., Cad Bane and Embo, allow them to come in. Even Embo would be great under Trench because he can't be critically hit. And if the tank tech gets slapped on him, maybe he gets the effective Darth Maul, Savage and Mace Windu with that type of taunt could be applied. But going back to it though, Newt Gunray could lead to Trade Federation. However, you're like, but that pulls away a lot of the droids from Grievous. True, as well as Newt Gunray from Trench, as we mentioned. However, if you bring in Rune Hako, then you would also have a few other droid options that could come in as well. We got 3 colors, I think, of OOM type battle droids. The yellow one, which is the OOM 9 commander droid. We got the red security droid, the security battle droid, and then we got the blue pilot droid, which they could do a unique shuttle if they ever do Trench's capital ship, mind you. The unique shuttle where you have the droid pilot, which maybe they would be able to tie that between both a droid ship and a non-droid ship because of the droid piloting it. But Rune Hako and Newt Gunray, and they would have that shuttle because there's a shuttle that they land on Naboo on, both of them, and obviously there's going to be pilot droids piloting it. Now that we see, like, what would they do? They have a droideka piloting it? Come on, obviously it's going to be a pilot droid, and they would be piloting that shuttle that would give Trench, the fleet, a ship to work with, as well as, another another droid for the Trade Federation. The security droid would be a battle droid tank. I feel like that would be kind of the Stormtrooper-esque, First Order Stormtrooper-esque type character for the Trade Federation. Also giving, Separatist droids another droid tank if they wanted to put both in with Grievous. So that would fill in. So you got the 3 here, Newt Gunray, Rune Hako, and then you run those 3 separatist droid tanks, or I mean those, OOM Battledroids, you got yourself a Trade Federation team and a Grievous droid team still. So droid, and they would also have to probably update the Omicron to work if Newt Gunray is in this, then, or if all allies are separatist droids or Trade Federation, he would get these bonuses. So they could do that if that's a faction that comes to fruition. Yes, I'm recording this like a few days, almost a week, like 5 days after the release of STAP, 6 days, after it's announced. But I wanted to, it's just timing. I apologize. But still, the concept of that is inevitable. But yeah, so I'm not going to talk too much, just, and there's talk that it's not going to be the greatest outside of Grand Arena, but in Grand Arena you just sub out Droideka for the STAP. He acts like a BB-8 / IG-88 with some target lock / Watambor / Newt Gunray for the Separatist droids. So that's always good because these 4 are the most common used in a Grievous team. I guess you could say, I apologize. Actually, there is one other droid I forgot to add. And you are right there, T3 and 4. That's more for Grand Arena. I mean, Territory Wars with his Omicron. His Omicron came out. I did see a few, but not much. But once the Droideka, or not the Droideka Omicron, wait. Yeah, the Droideka Omicron. That's the Grand TW one. Once that came out, people put T3 with Sortie. Because I don't know how well it is because we have no record. Thank you, CG, for not allowing SWGOH.gg to provide this info of historical territory war info. And I hope that's not a paid service because that'd be disappointing. But I digress. So yeah, and then Newt Gunray or Trench. Like I said, going back to it, here's 3 options that they could use for a separatist tag. So again, Embo and Cad Bane, they were both used to try to undercount Dooku's order, which Jango Fett was undercount Dooku's order to assassinate Padme, and then worked with them on Geonosis up until the end. Embo and Cad Bane both tried to capture Palpatine, Chancellor Palpatine, from Dooku's order, so they can make sense to be separatists. So give them some more flexibility for players as well. Savage Opress is actually, he's a Sith, but like he also worked for Dooku to go after. He killed Jedi. He also killed droid allies, and I get that, but he makes sense to be a separatist ally. So if under Dooku, he would get counter chance, which would be kind of interesting, I'll admit. But still, Savage being a separatist would be kind of interesting, especially in Grand Arena, and especially if, my personal prediction is Dooku gets to be a version of Dooku, which is the Sith ritual, being Darth Tyrannus, being a separatist lead, or GL. But still, Savage, all 3 of these guys make sense to be separatists. They can flex in and out of Trench teams. It would also make sense to give Trench this guy. That way you don't have to pull Jango Fett out of the Mandalorian teams, and you could use Savage as the tank. And then you would be giving him more health and protection, which is huge for Savage. Maybe they could also have some sort of like recovery or cleansing. Mostly he'd be doing it for Sith, but it doesn't hurt to have him flex in a little bit more. He's already pretty flexible as is. He can even solo some teams. Still, but that's just my thoughts. But going back to it though, I feel like Trade Federation is an upcoming faction. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition. Maybe Rune Hako leads the Trade Federation, so Newt Gunray stays with Trench. Or they could do some sort of swap between the 2. They can kind of flex in and out. Maybe it's like if Trench is the lead, one or the other can apply the extortion. I don't know. I don't know how that would work. So, but I digress. Let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the Trade Federation coming to the game as a playable faction? Thank you for watching. I really appreciate all those watching videos I make. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and you guys have a phenomenal day.